They plucked people from their beds, their jobs, their lives. Families were torn apart, powerless to stop the abductions. We screamed, we fought, we begged, but our efforts were futile. Our weakness was laid bare, and it filled us with seething hatred. They manipulated our minds, invaded our dreams. We couldn't even claim ownership of our thoughts anymore. The violation was complete, our autonomy, a distant memory. Impotent rage consumed us, knowing we were playthings to them. They ignored our governments, our laws, our very existence. To them, we were ants, insignificant and easily crushed. We burned with shame at our own helplessness. Our species' achievements, once a source of pride, now seemed laughable. Hay conducted experiments, treating us like lab rats. We couldn't stop them from taking what they wanted. Our bodies, our planet, our very essence, all were theirs to use. Humanity's rage burned cold, a helpless, festering wound. They showed us visions of the cosmos, of their infinite power. We saw countless worlds they had conquered, civilizations subjugated. Our anger turned to despair. How could we ever hope to resist? We were trapped, powerless on our own planet. They left as suddenly as they came, indifferent to our plight. We were left broken, our world forever changed. The scars of our powerlessness remained, a constant reminder. We looked to the stars with new eyes, wary, angry, and afraid. As the shock fades, humanity faces an uncertain future. Do we embrace our alien shepherds or fight for independence? Millions of years of hidden history unravel before us. We step into a new era, terrified but determined to reclaim our destiny. Why am I saying all this? Because we need to face our own pathetic reality. We can't even house our homeless or feed our hungry, yet we face an alien presence. Our societies crumble under basic challenges. How can we hope to stand against them? We're weak as fuck, and that's the terrifying truth. Why am I saying all this? Because the signs have been there all along. Remember Betty and Barney Hill? September 19th, 1961, the night that shook their world. A late-night drive through New Hampshire turned into a cosmic encounter. We dismissed their story then, but now we know. It was just the tip. Betty and Barney spoke of lost time, of beings not of this world. Under hypnosis, they recalled examinations, star maps, and conversations. We called it a hoax, a delusion, anything but the truth. Now we realize they were the warning we chose to ignore. Their experience wasn't unique, just one of the few that broke through the veil. How many others were silenced? How many encounters went unreported? Betty and Barney were brave enough to speak out, to face ridicule and disbelief. If only we had listened then, perhaps we'd be better prepared now. Their experience wasn't unique, just one of the few that broke through the veil. How many others were silenced? How many encounters went unreported? Betty and Barney were brave enough to speak out, to face ridicule and disbelief. If only we had listened then, perhaps we'd be better prepared now. But here we are, decades later, finally facing the truth they tried to tell us. We're weak, unprepared, still struggling with basic human needs. We couldn't believe Betty and Barney then. How can we face this reality now? Our collective denial has left us vulnerable, exposed to a presence we can bar. Crime lords and warlords, once feared, now cower in the shadows. What use are guns and bombs against those who bend reality? We can't mug an alien or carjack their UFOs. Our violence, our weapon of choice, is useless against them. We thought we were strong, masters of our own world. We rob banks, wage wars, harm each other without a second thought. But faced with beings from beyond the stars, we're nothing but ants. Our strength is an illusion, shattered by their mere presence. For centuries, we've perfected the art of hurting our own kind. We've built empires on the backs of the weak, profited from others' misery. But these aliens? They're immune to our threats, our schemes, our violence. All our power crumbles in the face of their advanced civilization. We hack computers, but their technology is beyond our comprehension. We breach vaults, but their secrets remain impenetrable. Our greatest criminals, our most brilliant minds, all rendered obsolete. In their presence, we're reduced to primitive beings, weak and afraid. Look at us now, still fighting each other while they watch and wait. We can't rob them, can't harm them, can't even begin to resist them. All we can do is continue our pointless human-on-human violence. In the face of true power, we're nothing but children throwing tantrums. Yep, we need to face our true powerlessness. We strut and preen, causing harm to each other, thinking we're invincible. But we can't even touch these visitors, can't comprehend their motives. All our human conflicts seem petty now, in the shadow of their power. Look up at the sky. What do you see? Flying saucers hover above our cities, clear as day, yet we cling to absurd explanations. Weather balloons, experimental aircraft, mass hallucinations. Anything but the obvious truth staring us in the face. The news calls them unexplained phenomena. Scientists babble about swamp gas and light refractions. Military officials deny. We're too weak to face the truth, so we invent comforting lies. A saucer lands in Times Square, and we call it a movie promotion. Aliens walk among us, and we pretend they're cosplayers. Our minds twist reality to fit our fragile worldview. We'd rather be delusional than confront our cosmic insignificance. Flying saucers hover in broad daylight, but nobody looks up. We're too busy hunched over our smartphones, scrolling mindlessly. TikTok dances and YouTube pranks captivate us more than cosmic visitors. Our necks permanently bent. We miss the revolution in the skies. Alien crafts perform impossible maneuvers overhead, yet we're focused on generating money through apps and likes. Instagram influencers get more attention than interdimensional beings. We're pathetically engrossed in our digital worlds, oblivious to the real one. Why are we so pitiful, so easily distracted? The most monumental event in human history unfolds above us. But we're too preoccupied with going viral or becoming the next crypto millionaire. Our face is illuminated by screens. We miss the otherworldly lights in the sky. Remember when we used to look up at the stars and dream? Now we stare down at pixels, obsessed with fleeting digital validation. Aliens could broadcast a message to humanity, and we'd swipe past it. Too busy checking our follower count to notice we're no longer Earth's dominant species. We fancy ourselves digital warriors, masters of the virtual realm. But we can't even tear our eyes away from our phones to see reality. Tweets and memes consume us while actual aliens consume our world. We're not weak because we can't fight them. We're weak because we don't even notice them. We'll spend $1,000 on a phone to take the perfect selfie. But when it comes to documenting the most important events in human history, suddenly, every camera turns into a blurry, shaky mess. It's like our technology conspires against us when it matters most. We've got phones that can recognize faces from a mile away, AI that can enhance images beyond belief. Yet somehow, every UFO video looks like Bigfoot footage. Are we really this incompetent, or is something else at play? People meticulously film their lunch for Instagram, every angle, perfect lighting, countless retakes. But a flying saucer hovering over the city? Sorry, bro, my hand was shaking. It's just a blurry dot. It's maddening. We can live stream our entire lives in HD, but capture clear footage of a UFO? Apparently that's asking too much. It's almost like we're subconsciously sabotaging ourselves, too afraid to document the truth even as we desperately seek it. We search for alien life on Mars, but ignore the UFOs in our own backyard. NASA's budget could buy a fleet of telescopes, yet we rely on amateur skygazers with binoculars. Why am I saying all this? Because it's a symptom of our larger problem. We have the tools, the technology, the capability to prove what's happening. But we fail, time and time again, to use them when it truly counts. Our weakness isn't in our tech, it's in our ability to face reality. We believe anonymous posts on the internet, but dismiss multiple eyewitness accounts of UFO sightings. Our skepticism is selective, our belief system a maze of contradictions. Alien abduction stories are mocked, yet we binge-watch sci-fi shows about extraterrestrial encounters. We crave the idea of aliens in fiction, but recoil from it in reality. Billionaires race to space in rocket phalluses while UFOs silently observe. Our cosmic inferiority complex on full display, trying to reach stars already watching us. Tic-tac UFOs outmaneuver our best fighter jets, and we debate if aliens could cross the vast distances of space. Maybe the question isn't how they got here, but how long they've been here. 1940s folks danced to big bands, swinging and jiving with real people. Now we swipe and tap, dancing only with our thumbs. They connected through touch and eye contact. We connect through emojis and likes. Real rhythm replaced by algorithmic beats. Today, zombies shuffle down streets, faces buried in phones. In the 40s, people walked with purpose, heads high, greeting neighbors. They built communities. We build follower counts. They face the world. We hide from it in digital cocoons. In the 40s, kids played stickball in the streets, inventing games on the fly. Today's kids swipe screens, playing games invented by programmers. They develop social skills and creativity. Our kids develop carpal tunnel and screen addiction. They gathered around radios, imaginations painting vivid pictures of far-off worlds. We stare at HD screens, imagination atrophied, spoon-fed visual pablum. They created mental worlds. We consume prepackaged ones, our minds growing duller by the pixel. They looked up at the stars, wondering at cosmic mysteries. We look down at blue light screens, oblivious to the universe above. They pondered their place in the cosmos. We ponder our place in online hierarchies, missing the real cosmic show. 1940s families gathered around dinner tables, sharing days and dreams. Modern families hunch over individual screens, together yet alone. They nourished relationships. We nurture our online personas, starving our real-world connections. In the 40s, people rolled up sleeves, rebuilding a world torn by war. Today, we roll through endless feeds, building nothing but digital empires of sand. They shape the physical world. We reshape our virtual avatars, impotent in the face of real challenges. They faced real fears, war, disease, economic strife, with grit and community spirit. We face imagined online slights and cancel culture, armored in anonymity. They built resilience through real trials. We build fragility through virtual tribulations. They wrote letters, pouring heart and soul onto paper, anticipation building as they awaited replies. We send instant messages, rapid fire and thoughtless. They crafted communication. We spew it, drowning meaningful exchange in a sea of digital noise. The greatest generation lived life in vivid, high-contrast reality. We live in a muted, filtered unreality, auto-tuning our experiences. They faced life's music, dancing to its wild, unpredictable rhythms. We face our phones, life's grand opera reduced to a tinny ringtone. No Wi-Fi? No cellular data? Watch as modern humans devolve into anxious, twitchy messes. We've forgotten how to exist offline. The world becomes too real, too quiet. We crave the noise, the constant stream of content. Silence is no longer golden. It's terrifying. Phone battery at 1%? Panic sets in. It's not just a device dying, it's our digital lifeline fading. We scramble for chargers like addicts seeking a fix. Without that glowing screen, we feel naked, alone, cut off from our virtual world. Real life becomes the withdrawal symptom. TikTok banned in your country? Watch a generation lose its collective mind. Suddenly, 15 seconds feel like an eternity. We don't know how to fill time without endless scrolling. Dance trends and challenges were our purpose. Now what? Create original content? Unthinkable. YouTube down for maintenance. Cue the existential crisis. What do we do with our time now? Read a book? Talk to people? The horror? We've outsourced our entertainment, our very ability to self-soothe. Without our virtual pacifier, we're lost, bored, uncomfortable in our own skin. Our 3 post-social media collapse. Influencers wander the streets, desperately seeking validation from strangers. Like and subscribe becomes a haunting, meaningless mantra. Day 1 of the internet shutdown. Panic ensues as people realize they have to remember actual birthdays now. Facebook's reminder system was the only thing keeping some friendships alive. With Google Maps offline, an entire generation realizes they never learned to read a paper map. City centers become labyrinths of lost souls asking, "Siri, where am I?" to unresponsive phones. Without Instagram filters, people are forced to see the world as it really is. The resulting existential crisis leads to a surge in philosophy majors and a shortage of mood lighting equipment.